Is Olamide Adeyemi.
Good morning, Veronica.
Good morning. It's Friday already. We are counting down to the Salah break and celebration as it is. And we're already seeing rams around the streets. And unfortunately, you're not a Muslim, so I can't ask him for ram meat. But then Ibrahim will do the needful.
He will do the needful.
I'm certain he's listening to us, so I'm certain that he will do the needful when the time is
as soon
right.
as possible.
Okay, we have an array of issues we will be looking at this morning. Of course, labor matters. We're also going to look at the issue of high-risk pregnancies as it is, and then we're also going to look at retirement. How do you plan for your retirement as it is? But first of all, we'll begin with this story, where the Supreme Court has reserved judgment in the suit of the federal government against the 36 state governors seeking full autonomy for the 774 local governments in the country. After all parties involved adopted their written address, Justice Garba Lawal announced that parties in the matter would be communicated with when the judgment is ready. Celestina Area has details.
In this suit, the AGF is praying to the Supreme Court for an order restraining state governors from arbitrarily and unlawfully dissolving democratically elected local government leaders. In the originating summons, he is also praying to the Supreme Court for an order to allow the funds in the appropriation of local government to be channeled directly to them from the Federation account in accordance with the provisions of the Constitution. The AGF is also seeking the order of the Apex Court to prevent the governors from constituting inner committees to conduct the affairs of local government against democratically recognized and guaranteed system. The governors, through their respective state attorney generals and commissioner of justice, opposed the request of the federal government and asked the court to dismiss the suit. Justice Garba Lawal announced the reservation of judgment after taking adoption of processes filed by the Attorney General of the Federation, Lateef Fagbemi, on behalf of the federal government and those of the 36 state governors.
The matter is for hearing. The Supreme Court have heard the matter, and the position of the 36 AGs, we appeared in protest, and we await the outcome of the decision of the Supreme Court. That Mr. President has done us the greatest good. He has done Nigerian democracy the greatest good. The same way Mr. President removed fuel subsidy, even when it was difficult for others to do. Mr. President has taken the bull by the horn to say, we will practice the true democratic process via the Constitution. That the Attorney General of the Federation lacks the local standing to file the suit, which the subject matter is beneficial only to the local governments who are not parties to this suit. Number two, that the Supreme Court of Nigeria lacks the jurisdiction to entertain this matter in its original jurisdiction on the ground that the relief sought are beneficial to the local government.
Local government financial autonomy entails freedom to impose local taxation, generate revenue from assigned resources, and also determine and authorize its annual budgets. Celestina Area, TVC News, Abuja.
Interesting times ahead as it is, Olamide, with this matter on who has the local standard to request for this or make demands for these kinds of things. We're talking about a true reflection of what democracy is supposed to be, and it is supposed to trickle down to the grassroots. And that is why the federal government decided to take these 36 state governors to the courts as it is, so that we can have a semblance of what true democratic processes and true democracy is, and the people at the grassroots feel the impact, because that is one of the major issues that we have been talking about over the years with regards to local governments being autonomous, being able to do what is necessary such that the people feel the impact of whatever government is doing. They have the resources to also ensure that they put in place the necessary structures that the state level or the subnationals can build on and up to the federal level as it is. But it seems that that might be meeting a brick wall as it is.
Well, I do not think it will be meeting a brick wall at this time compared to 2019, when some state governors also, they turned down the idea of local government autonomy. It's very funny because the provision for the existence of a democratically elected local government. It has the provision in the Constitution.
Absolutely.
And so in the first place, there should not even be a litigation. But now that we're at this point, I'm hoping that the federal government and the Attorney General will follow through with this. When we're talking about local government autonomy, it also helps in bringing the government to the grassroots.
Closer to the people.
Closer to the people. When we're talking about infrastructure, some of the issues that you have within communities.
For instance, primary healthcare.
Primary healthcare should be the job of the local government and not even the state government. And so I even believe that the state government should even be excited that something like this is happening, except they have an ulterior motive to this kind of thing.
I do not hold brief for them, so I cannot say it. And that's why I said that as it is, because of the seeming resistance that we're seeing, I'm using the word carefully now.
Okay.
We saw...
so we had states like Ondo State
right.
also raise an objection to that suit, saying that the federal government does not have the legal right to actually even file this.
That was what we also heard just now. One of the persons that spoke also said that the Attorney General of the Federation does not have the local standard to even institute this suit in the first place. And so we are going to see some interesting times in the coming days with regards to this matter. There are those who will say that, well, the federal government started it in the first place when we talked about democracy, 1999 and all of it, and that if we had begun this whole matter at the beginning, we would not be where we are right now, talking about fighting for the autonomy of local governments.
But it's better late than never. Because apart from bringing the government to the people, it also helps that these people can share some of their resources that they have in that local government.
When
they can also focus.
It is not for them.
No, not for personal use.
It's not for largesse.
No.
Right. It's for them to use on the behalf, judiciously, on the behalf of the people as it is, so they can feel the impact of governance or the government. All right, let's quickly